Oh, right, I have better hands. I didn't disable that. That's going to be weird, but it's fine. So, with the base game, you can palm a handful of ammo, but you can't palm, like, extra magazines. There's a mod called Better Hands that allows you to hold a magazine like this, and then grab a second one like this. So you can reload, and then keep this on standby, and then reload again. A lot of people really like Better Hands, and I don't. Hello, we're here in England. This is what it looks like. And we're here for the most British of video games. Dizzy the Egg. It has a lot of guns. Just, you might know it by its American name, Killing Floor. Anyways, this isn't one of them, but I'm gonna shoot it. Hooray! What did I just press? I'm here with Dan, and I'm not entirely sure how we're going to rate all of the Killing Floor weapons. We'll figure it out. Killing Floor is a 6-player cooperative horde shooter game that's like if you made Man vs. Machine from Team Fortress 2 worse. You buy weapons, you use them to get pounds or dosh in the second game, which you then spend to replace that weapon with just a functionally better weapon. So by the end of the game, or after a certain point, everyone's just got like an AA-12 or a minigun, or whatever the heck that Berserker, like, character uses. There's a lot of weird stuff, but it's mostly just like 4 weapons. It has like a bazillion like microtransactions and DLC. Even the second game, which they said everything will be free until it wasn't. Anyways, let's begin with the first game.
Your very, very first one is the 9mm Tactical, or also known as the M9A1.
Okay, well, oh yeah, I actually have it right here. We're playing on the, I'm gonna spawn all of these because they're cool. So we're playing on the alpha. So there are a bunch of new Berettas. This is the one we'll use. We'll set that aside. But there's the shiny chrome one and the disgusting brown one. We've also got this other one, which I don't know what makes it different from that one. But there's a lot of Berettas now. So you can be quiet that I'm using an M9 and I should be using a Beretta 92, or vice versa. I don't remember what people are complaining about, because I have it. I also have Better Hands, and it's a more fun name for it might be Worse Hands. Let's shoot. And then you do this and that, and we're good to go. I mean, it's like the most basic pistol in the entire game, so it's really hard to have thoughts on it. I think every character starts with this, and it really doesn't have like an upgrade. It's just this. We're gonna use Dan's patented number system for this one. Out of 5, maybe I should spawn like 5 tables and put them out. That might get messy, but that sounds like fun.
So that might get confusing.
Everybody starts with this. And for good reason. Decent ammo capacity. And also weak. So you're not gonna, power through the whole game with a 9mm pistol. And that's why I feel comfortable giving it a 2. It is like the bare minimum.
Right. Ready for your next one?
This whole video is going to be me finagling with the platforms for 17 hours.
The MK23, also known as the Mark 23 Mod 0.
You remember Metal Gear Solid 1?
Vaguely.
How Snake kind of just had a box that shoots?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was this gun.
Oh.
It was chosen specifically because it's mostly just a square with a cylinder at the end, so they could model it with like 15 polygons.
Makes sense.
So this is the MK23. It probably doesn't have the suppressor in the game, but I just wanted to show off that this is also the Metal Gear Solid gun. And... oh, 45. You have to shoot way above where you're trying to hit if you're trying to hit anything distant. But that's why Snake used this for CQC. Not, you know, sniping. Anyways. I don't know if you get the laser in Killing Floor, actually. We'll give that a 3. Well, that's next.
Next is the Desert Eagle .50 AE.
I just want to point out something. I've been playing Serious Sam 4, and Serious Sam 4, your starting pistol is the Desert Eagle 50, but it's chambered in 45 ACP, which is weird. It's functionally just a 1911 that looks like a deagle. I don't know what's going on over in Croatia. Maybe that thing just exists. The bullets are apparently fast enough that you don't need to aim too high up to hit a distant target, but I'm more just wondering, as always, why? Why the 50?
Why is it so big?
It's massive. I mean, the bullet is huge, for starters. I'm also standing inside of a table.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's VR. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, this thing is just, like, massive. Actually, perfect comparison. The one Desert Eagle, I think, makes the most sense. The 357. It's big. I think we've had the 50 in a previous video, and I said this is the gun you give to Arnold Schwarzenegger, so it looks like a normal-sized gun in his hands and not like a children's toy. And that's more or less all the Desert Eagle is good for. Not particularly reliable. If you need high power, just get a rifle. Like, what does this accomplish? And I'm saying this knowing what one of the later weapons in this list is going to be. This is just too much. But don't worry. We've heard the complaints. You know, it kicks like a mule. You're right. Now you have a place to put your hand. But it's also not very accurate. You know, it's really hard to see down these big chunky sights. You know what? You're correct. Are you happy now?
Every part of this.
You know what? No, you're right. You're not happy. Because, you know, what's going to absorb all of the kick? You're correct. So let's go ahead and, there we go. Now we've just made a battle rifle. That's all we've done. Anyways, numbers, math. It's a 3, but worse than this. I'd rather take a lighter round with more utility than something whose goal is just to inflict pain on every party involved. You're gonna flip and wreck your wrist shooting that thing, especially in a flippin' horde shooter scenario. And whoever you do hit with a bullet, they're dead. There's like no getting around that. You have killed.
Next one is the Model 29, or the 44 Magnum.
I like the Model 29. Wait, stop the presses. What is this? What mod added this?
Oh, revolver.
Does it...
It doesn't even fire.
It just makes beep boop noises. This had to have been one of the utilities. Like one of the mod utilities just added this. It sounds like a computer from like a 70s like movie. Like the big computer in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That's what it sounds like. I'm going to tell the computer what it can do with a life supply of chocolate. I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. Where did Cool Revolver come from? If you're the mod author who made Cool Revolver, 1, thank you, but 2, why? I needed that today. That was enjoyable. Ooh. Just taking the heads clean off. Wow. Oh my god. Further. All the way at the back. I missed that one. Oh wait, no, I have one more round. Ooh, I hit it. Oh. This thing's very pleasant. Sights are nice and clear. Tons of power and speed on the bullets. If you have a good eye for aim, you're gonna love this thing. It is only 6 rounds, but you know, let's do this real fast. Let me get one on standby. Like over time, I feel like it evens out. This, like, the amount of time put into reloading versus the actual like power of the round and the speed at which you can fire and the number of rounds you get. I can't not give this a 5. Hold on, we have to tabulate the results. This is, I don't know why I like this thing so much. It's just all it does is just make like the item panel like boop noise. But it's the noise. The noise is funny. Oh, and if the Model 29 isn't ridiculous enough for you, there's this one. This is also a Model 29, but let's compare the length of the barrel. Yeah, it's a bit bigger. So in case you were like, I need more barrel, you got it.
All right. The flare revolver.
Ah, yes. So we have
1851 Navy.
It's an 1851 Navy. This game has some kind of 1851 revolver. I don't think it's the Navy, though. I believe the 1851 Navy is the gun where once you're done with it, you flip a lever, rip the cylinder out, and load a new cylinder in. We don't have that, but we have this. We have the 1851 conversion, which is a single-action revolver. Okay, so the flare revolver in Killing Floor, I mean, it's what it sounds like. Instead of loading bullets, it loads flares to light enemies on fire. But it is kind of like an old-timey revolver-y type of weapon, so this'll, I guess, kind of do. You can't use the sights until you pull the hammer down, which I guess that's helpful for idiots like me who would, you know, not think to drop the hammer before they go to shoot. You know, oh, I can't see in my sights. Yeah, you gotta drop the hammer, you dingus. This thing produces a lot of smoke. Okay, I got the head. And then to empty this, we do... And then we seal it back up. I mean, this isn't comparable in its current state, for sure. So let's go ahead and just give ourselves one of these and load this up with a flare. Oh, come on, you have flares. I swore there were flares for the, maybe it's the Baphomet. This has got to be some kind of flare. This is a hammer? That was not a flare, that was Dragon's Breath. Okay, well...
It's fire. Close enough.
It's a gun that shoots flares, and it shoots a bunch of them, and then you rip the whole cylinder out and load a new one in. That's really all that matters. And if this isn't an 1851 Navy, or the Navy gun is some other number that I'm not even, like, aware of, then I guess that's on me. But this will embody the spirit of the flare revolver, which is a terrible weapon from what I remember, but it completely gets like a whole bunch of passes and high marks because of the novelty of shooting a whole bunch of flares at something. So it's 5 for fun and like 1.5 for utility. It gets a 2.9. It's not quite on par with those. Well, maybe it is. Well, I want to distinctly like separate it from these. So you're allowed on this table because you're almost a 3, but like not like kind of teetering on the edge there. There we go. 2.9.
On thin ice, but it still works.
Yeah.
Next one is the MP5M or the MP5A4 with a flashlight grip.
Hey, look at this!
A solid stock.
A solid stock. So we actually have a solid stock, which is lovely. Thank you, England. The gun actually looks handsome with a solid stock. That's the thing that I think tears me up the most about the solid stock on the MP5 versus the collapsing stock. Collapsing stock is obviously more helpful. You know, you can make it take up less space in the case, so you don't need a huge, giant, you know, box to carry it around in. You know, if you want the sights closer to you or further away from you, you can make that happen. But it just looks so much better with the solid stock. That was somehow 30 rounds. I guess that makes sense. So, decently accurate. I was able to hit all the way back there. You get a decent amount of rounds. I like the form factor. It's almost carbine-esque in terms of its like size and feel. It also reminds me of the one time that we went laser tagging, because the laser tag place, all of their guns were MP5s.
Yeah.
I'll give him this. Every time I see an MP5, I now do think of laser tag. It just feels like the laser tag gun of guns. I feel like the loading could be a little easier. The bolt being up here, and you know, you have to do this and that. And the fact that there is not a mag release button, I can't give it a 5 as much as I'd like to give it high marks, but you do get a 4. A lovely 4.
Next one is an MP7.
You think with how many times the MP7 has appeared in these sorts of videos, I would know where the charging handle is. Whoa! It has elevated sights as well as pistol style sights.
There's a reason that I hold this weapon with a lot of high regard in my own mind.
And I think it's neat. These line up, and then now they fold up. Interesting. One day we'll know all of the secrets of the MP7.
Okay.
Probably won't be today.
Nope.
Scientists are still finding out new things about the MP7. It's like the flippin' gut bacteria. It's like, we think we know what they do, and then we find something that just kind of throws out everything we thought we knew.
Yep.
Elevated sights aren't great, I will give them that. But the pistol sights... I want the pistol sights just a little tighter. They do kind of feel very loose. But the gun does a decent job of actually staying within the sights at combat ranges. Like, everything in the sight is kind of just shot at all at the same time. What? How did that work? Wait. Okay, hold on. I've learned something about better hands. So you grab so you palm a full magazine, grab the empty one, okay, that time it didn't work. Actually, no, give me one of the empties. Okay. Palm a full one. Grab the old one, you swap them, and now you're killing. Okay. By the time we're done with all these recording sessions for Killing Floor, I'm like, my entire stance on better hands will probably done a complete 360.
Yep.
I do need some time to think about what score I give this. So to make it sound like I'm really thinking, we're gonna pull out our old friend here. I need to just find a place to stick this because this is too good just to.
Hey, don't you have like a holster slot?
I have a lot of them.
There you go. It'd be your rating gun.
I'll stick it up on the left shoulder and then I'll holster it so I can just and then put it away when I'm done. All right.
Yep.
I've decided. I don't like it as much as the MP5. But, okay, well, hold on. What is the capacity of a magazine for this bad boy versus the MP5? 40.
Wow. I was not expecting an extra 10 in there.
I wasn't either. That actually does change everything, because it's easy to load. This thing back here is weird, but I guess it's more like a rifle than like an SMG or a pistol, anything like that. The sights are decent. The sights are a Nissan. The sights are a decent idea, but I feel like they could be executed a little better. But now that I know it's got that capacity versus 30, and this being kind of a pain to load, and that was like one of the big reasons I gave it a 4 instead of a 5. Easy there. You get a 4.5, I guess.
Right.
What is this?
Man, you're finding all the weird ones today.
I don't like this. How are the what is going on?
Those rounds are just kind of haphazardly thrown in there.
Where? Okay, so one.
What?
Okay, where do I?
There's your stock. With your TV static in the back.
If we are living in the light as God is in the light, then is it ready?
No idea.
What do I charge? I don't like that. Okay. Oh, I hate that. So it only shoots when I let go of the trigger. 3. That's full.
What are these settings?
Who made this? Cool closed bolt. I get that. Are you just magazine for cool closed bolt? Throw you away. What type of round? 46 by 30 millimeter.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Is this just gonna keep happening throughout this entire video? Where are these from? What mod is adding these? It's gotta be either a map, or John Worst, or a dependency. That completely just like threw me off my game. What were we even talking about? So it's just those two.
Yep. Alright, your next
Yeah.
one. The M1A1 Thompson.
Okay.
Chicago staple.
Not quite. Military staple. I'm trying to remind people of this is the wrong magazine. Better hands, you lied to me. I'm gonna be completely honest. I need a different Thompson because this is bothering me. So this is the Thompson 30 carbine. It's definitely bigger. And it fires a different round, like an actual carbine round. But look, it's got the top bolt. But you've still got all your army furniture. And it's got this kind of awful hybrid sight that I don't like, that I can't do anything about. I want this. I don't know. The top bolt is so much cooler than the side bolt. And there's also a latch inside the A1, so you can't do this. Because they knew people were going to do this. The drum mag is cool, but it's a pain in the ass to load. But it changes the whole profile of the gun in such a fun way.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still such a big fan of it, even though I know it's obviously a bad way of doing things. Yeah, it's also a 4. It's got a lot of the same like this is weird. Whoa. I never noticed how similar these were. Interesting. Okay.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
Yeah, we've been using the same type of like SMG system for like decades.
Here's gonna be the stupid part. The next one is the Rising Storm Tommy gun, which is the M1928.
Right, there was a DLC that added a Tommy gun. Now look, this is what we're after. Doesn't this just scream like half of an entire Polish sausage grilled in mustard and served with a whack load of onion?
Yeah. A little too much onion for my taste, but
like a little too much mustard, a little too much onion. They've tried the sauces to hell and back, but if I tried to like fix it, I'd just make it worse.
yeah.
It's somehow like it shouldn't work, but it works too well. It needs to be everybody wants to fix it. But no amount of fixing it will make it better.
I quote you on that. Shoot the gun.
Yes. I mean, it's just the other one, but with arguably worse sights. What some people would call worse, I would call good. Oh, we're out. I didn't grab more magazines. We can make we can just like combine all of the worst aspects of both. Yay, stick magazine. Yay, you can actually watch the springs and things inside the magazine advance up and these holes empty. Yay. No, mate. Give me the bit. Yeah. This is what we're talking about. And then let's not even...
Slam that into there.
Yeah, don't even use the sight. Kind of just to hold it at hip level and just... I was thinking of a one-liner this entire time and I couldn't come up with one. Honestly, the cooler Thompson. But what makes it different from this other than it's got the big wheelie mag and the bolt isn't a... I just feel like it'd be so much easier to just rack the bolt from the top than from the side. Especially because the bolt on this isn't big. It doesn't seem like it'd be easy to handle. This is just kind of ka-chunk and then flick and you are ready to kill. Yeah, it's gotta be a 4.5.
Next one is the MAC-10 with a suppressor.
Oh boy.
I feel like we've done this before.
MAC-10 with a suppressor appear. Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Get on there. Screw down. Yeah, I don't see myself as being like a gun person. But if you're like, hey, I have this Tommy gun I have to get rid of. Do you want it? I'd be like, yes. Like, I wouldn't think twice about it. It's mine now. Thank you. Bad sights. Almost no recoil because it's suppressed. Plus, it carries a ton of ammo, so you can kind of just go ham. And we're killing again. Windows Mixed Reality hates tracking on guns that are short, where I have a foregrip directly in front of the pistol grip. If you're a gun manufacturer and you have a budget of like $9, you could do a whole lot worse than this. Like this somehow shoots. Fold. Thank you. With the stock all the way out, it's not the worst. This would be really good for... Better hands, come on. This would be really good for, like, stuff directly in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Like it feels like the type of gun that is designed for hip firing and hip firing alone.
Yeah, especially because its sights are just
non-existent.
They're just kind of they just took a metal stamp to a piece of metal. Just what's it called? A die, like a hole punch. Just went ka-chunk, 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 and they then stuck a little flipping post up here, and they're like, "That's it. It's everything you need, right?" No. Whoever made this gun, it might either be the Mac 10 or the Mac 11. One of these two was meant for like Secret Service and the CIA. And whatever organization they took this to, took one look at it, fired it once, and they're like, no. That's why it's got this like gigantic suppressor. The idea was, oh, you know, it's concealable, it's inexpensive, and it's pretty quiet. You know, it's everything you need to do your job. They're like, yeah, but it's just a square. I don't like this thing. I do like, it has utility in the fact that, you know, you slap this on and it's not going anywhere. That's about it. Yeah, welcome to the 3 zone.
Schneidstick, medic gun, or the TDI vector.
Yeah, so this is specifically for the medic class. All of the medic class's guns are fictitious and shoot healing syringes, but this'll do. This is like one of the few that's clearly based on a real world weapon that's also in H3. So it is missing something. I do want to give this irons, and the irons I want to give it are actually the H&K irons. The H&K irons honestly just kind of feel right on this thing. There's so many guns in this game that have this problem where when you fold the stock back, it only folds like that, unfolds like that much. So, good to know that this isn't one of them. And we've run the gun out, so we're gonna do that, and then slap the button as we learned in the John Wick video. Once again, burst firing this is a pain in the ass because after it gets, you have this like initial jolt and then it's kind of steady, but it's only steady for like a fraction of a second because the magazine's not massive and it fires through it so quick. Bewilderingly, even though it has this like linear recoil system or whatever, I have to, you can fire it single, which seems to defeat that purpose. Then it has a burst mode, which isn't better. It's like a hyper burst, I'll give it that. Is it only 2 rounds? I guess it's only 2 rounds. I don't know exactly what a 2-round burst would accomplish in a scenario where you're using a Chris Vector.
Yeah, that is kind of absurd.
Every time I fire this weapon in this game, I slowly start to realize why this is one of Anton's least favorite guns. It's the iPhone 4 of guns. You know, its legacy and the technology that it's brought to its respective scene have to be respected. They are, you know, fantastic advances in their respective design. But it just has like so many like weird idiosyncrasies that like no other thing in its class have, that really have ought to been ironed out before this hit the market. You know, the iPhone 4. If you hold it like a regular phone, you short out the antenna and drop your call. Whoops! You know, the Chris Vector, does it need to have this ridiculously high rate of fire? Well, probably, I mean, for the linear recoil, it probably does. But with that in mind, why give it a 1 and a 2 round burst, and why give it a magazine that's only this deep? This is really begging for, like a drum-style mag. So it sits... Yeah, it sits somewhere in the 3 zone.
Next one is the hunting shotgun or a full-size double barrel.
I appreciate the simplicity of double barrel shotguns, but at the same time, I just wonder, you know, surely this isn't meant to be how you fire it, just like straight off of the flippin' tops of the barrels. I will also say most double barrels are quite handsome. I think really the only one that I'm not a fan of in terms of the visuals is this weird cowboy monstrosity.
They're bands. Why are there bands around it?
So, I can't answer for most of these, but I can answer for the loops on the outside, which hold 2 more shells just in case. That's
kinda handy.
Yeah, this is the Wells 1864. This is modeled after the shotgun that the Wells Bank Company would give their like couriers, like the people who like move banknotes around. So you'd be sitting in your wagon with big bags of money, and oh no, here comes a bandit coming to take the money. Blam, blam. And then you take this, and you take that, and you screw this up. Eject. Drop the other hammer. Bang, bang. And, you know.
For a second, I forgot what time period you were talking about, and I just couldn't help but laugh at the image of, welcome to your first day on the job, here's your gun.
Yeah. I mean, that's more or less what it was like to work for Wells, the bank company. If Wells Fargo had any amount of decency, they would continue to do this in the modern day. Yeah, welcome to Wells Fargo. You know, here's your personalized company bank card, and here's your shotgun. What's this for? When you learn to drive the truck, the armored truck, you'll figure it out. Although I believe most of those people have like Glocks now, which is sad. It's also just very satisfying to watch the flippin' wooden targets just crumble to pieces, like flippin' Kraft Crumbles commercials from the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, I remember Kraft Crumbles.
They're crumbelievable. That ad has been like flipping like seared into my brain for decades, and I don't know why. I never had Kraft Crumbles. Were they bad? I assume they weren't great.
It was like just shredded cheese, but like the best way I can describe it was like shredded cheese, but like a chunky shredded cheese, and not chunky in like a bad way. As it was just, you had bites of just cheese.
Okay.
Little...
In my head, they were like a cracker like competitor, where they just took cheese, just like sheared off chunks, and then would dehydrate the chunks. Like that's what it was in my flippin' like 6-year-old head.
I don't think it was ever like that.
Okay, well I never had them, so all I had to go off of was the commercial and the song. But it's great to have that answered. I just also kind of assumed they wouldn't be great like most early to mid 2000s food products that didn't make it into the new 10s.
For the purple ketchup.
Yep, purple and green ketchup. Yep. Oh, rest in peace.
Where do you rate this gun?
Is it a 4? It's an upper 3, like a 3.75, I guess.
That's a weird number, but all right.
It's like 3 3/4. You know, not quite a 4, but pretty dang good.
Next one, AA-12, as itself.
Yep. This was considered the single best weapon in all of Killing Floor. I believe for the most part, even if it wasn't like the character class you played as, you still more or less just wanted to take the AA-12. Because it just kind of melts everything in front of it, no matter the difficulty you're playing on. I mean, being a fully automatic, drum-fed shotgun with no recoil will do that. Do we need to finish off this magazine? I think I just said everything that needs to be said. You know what? We are missing one thing. You can't do this in the game, but it is just the fun party piece of the AA-12.
You're gonna do what I think you're gonna do. Yeah.
This is one of the few guns in real life that you can actually do that with. And it's also like the only time in history that it almost makes sense as an actual offense tactic, because it kind of just flippin' microwaves everything directly in front of it. And then, if you're a weenie who hates fun, there's a stick magazine. Somehow this just doesn't look intimidating. Yeah. Yeah, surprise, who saw this one coming? Hooray. Of course it was going to get a perfect score.
Alright. Just shotgun. M3 Super 90.
I believe M3 means pump action. I guess I'll just use this. If it's just called shotgun, then I assume it's a pump. That was interesting. It took out exactly as many shells as I needed to actually load this to capacity. That's got to be another one of the mod dependencies doing that. Why do all these mod dependencies, just to make other mods work, like change so much about the game? Or add... Okay, well, you know, I can't complain about this. Calculate bullet trajectory. Give me the frickin'... Yeah, it's a shotgun. It sure is a pump shotgun. It's not worth it to fire more. Pump shotguns are all more or less the same, and they're all pretty dang decent. They get a 4 as a collective. Every pump shotgun ever produced is a 4 out of 5. Except
Super 90.
Except for this.
Yeah, I don't know if I should give the 4 out of 5 rating for the combat shotgun, because I don't know if that's semi-auto or not.
What is it? The M4?
The M4 Super 90.
M4 is the, it's the semi-auto. It's not a pump.
The 1014, that one. Okay.
Yep.
So it's not a pump.
That's right. New targets. We already know I'm gonna like this thing because it's appeared every single time it's appeared. I've given it pretty much a perfect score. Yeah, I fired it off. This deserves a perfect score. I like the M1014 a whole lot. It's got like a grace and finesse to it that the AA-12 just doesn't have. But the AA-12 has like unbridled manic bloodlust, which is cool.
Yeah. The AA-12 just kind of feels like, I'm gonna lay down the trigger and lay waste to an entire town. But...
POV, you are becoming Swiss cheese.
The Slayer has entered the arena. Okay. So next one is the KSG, but according to you, in Killing Floor it is mag-loaded somehow?
Yes, so it's this. But let's make a mock-up real fast. I'll just grab the cost mag, it's fine. It's like this, But with like this here, so you shoot and you shoot and you shoot and you shoot and you shoot, and then when you're done, you rip this out and you throw a new one in.
That doesn't make sense.
Which begs the question as to why I wouldn't just... Yeah, well, sure. It more or less is just the cost at that point. They both need a sight. What type of sight would the KSG have had? I guess we'll use this. Sure. One thing that isn't quite correct with this setup is that the KOS fires brass-belted shotgun rounds, which have substantially more kick, because the amount of powder in these shells would melt the plastic on a regular buckshot. And the KOS specifically was a West German weapon. So it was our side of Germany was making this. But they had a whole lot of financial problems because they were also helping out East Germany after they reunified. So they scrapped the entire KOS and G11 weapon systems because of course they were being made at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah, the shotgun that fires like regular like bullet casing shotgun shells, and the rifle that doesn't have any casings at all and is loaded from sticks in quivers. We're gonna make both at the same time. There's no way this could go wrong. I will say I like the KOS way more than the KSG. It's not just me. So many people have problems where they forget which one of these is loaded, and then when you do, oh, it's empty. Yeah, you have to then go and do this, and then it did load a new round. It's just not. It's a neat idea in theory. Caltech was like, hey, we're gonna do a double barrel pump action shotgun. The problem is Caltech made a double barrel pump action shotgun, which combines the worst of both. It's, you know, the repetitive stress of doing this twice as many times as you'd have to, with the finagling of having to like remember, oh, this is this, and this tube has this many shells, and this tube has that many shells. So I totally get Killing Floor just being like, screw it. You have a magazine now. H3 is one of the very few games I know of that actually simulates both tubes correctly and doesn't just make them one big, long tube. You know, most games are like, yeah, we'll just double the capacity of a normal shotgun. We'll give it 18 shells, and then everyone only uses this. But then if you have to do this, then it's like, well, now you've made something that's just a hassle to deal with. So I get why Killing Floor did what they did, but maybe you guys could have just not used the KSG. As a shell-fed shotgun, no, it hurts my brain too much. You only get a 3.
The Pinkor jackhammer.
Oh boy, I totally forgot. Are we still in Killing Floor 1?
We are still in Killing Floor 1. We're going to be in Killing Floor 1 for a while.
Okay. H3 does a very video gamey adaptation of this thing. There's no bolt or anything to pull back. There's no hammer. You just kind of click it in place, take it off of safe, and then just you just go va-voom. And then how do you get this magazine that's, you know, nestled very neatly between these two pieces of metal out? Don't worry about it. It's fine. I did not... I need a new one. And then how are you gonna fit it in? Don't worry about that. I really appreciate that Anton had no idea how to, like, actually simulate this thing correctly, so he's like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do it. I mean, there isn't a working jackhammer anymore. It should be like somewhere here or here. It is functionally very similar to them. It's a lot like the AA-12, just you know, more finicky. But it also just does not exist. So you get what's very quickly just becoming the meme grade of all of these weapons. You get the G. Because apparently we're just going to use G for meme, I guess.
I'm rating this G out of 5.
Sure. I don't know what to rate it. It really doesn't exist. So is it an accurate portrayal of a gun that does not exist? I have no idea. Is this a good idea for like a system? We could look at the 612 and ask ourselves the same question. You know, here's the 612. And then you just remove that. I guess in theory it'd be fine. But, like, it's bulky. But that one doesn't fire. The real one doesn't fire. And that's the one that, you know, all of these are modeled after. Because we don't know what the flippin', like, military prototypes that were actually test-fired looked like. We know they were sent to the military, who more or less rebuilt them for their own, like, purposes and need. And then they fired them so much that they pretty much just fell apart. That's all we know. It's like asking, is Bigfoot good at basketball? Who fucking knows?
Okay, on that subject,
Bigfoot's next.
Yeah, the M1897 trench gun.
Oh, kind of like Bigfoot, I guess. I actually get to show off the party piece of this gun for real. Okay, I'm gonna need new targets. Boop. You know, a pretty normal pump shotgun. You know, for just having a front post sight, really could be worse. Alright, let's go ahead and load the bad boy up. Okay. And now for the fun party trick. Hold down the trigger, and pump, and pump, and pump, and pump, and pump. And you've done it. You've absolutely murdered everything directly in front of you. It made Nazi Germany so squeamish, they want this classified as a flippin' war crime. The Germans hated shotguns. They made really messy wounds that were guaranteed to get infected. Even like if the guy didn't die from getting shot, he would die from the infection. And U.S. soldiers could just pump 6 shells into a guy without thinking about it, because it's literally just boom, 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 boom. Like one of the most dastardly weapons of the World Wars. And it's really just because they forgot to finish building the trigger. There should be a disconnect after it fires off a round. But there's nothing to stop that from happening, so it's just like always ready to go if you're holding down the trigger. You're a pump shotgun that I can really, really get behind. You've earned it.
Was that a 5?
That's a 5.
Lever action rifle, the model 1894.
Do we have? Oh, we do have the 94. Hooray! I am not a good aim with this thing. Also, I should point out now, 2 things. One, for whatever reason, the actual like right eye of the camera, and 2, because I saw comments about this. I am 6'1", you know, this is my standing height, so we'll stand for this one. I do feel more important standing. And you can spin it, so...
Always an advantage.
Not an advantage, But neat. After like 1930, this is all just style points. Like, you don't want this thing because it's capable or reliable or anything. You want it because it's cool. You want it so you can do the funny spin thing.
Like, that's how I feel about lever actions as a whole. Is that, do I want to fire one? No. Do I just like the idea of just going click click on a little lever all the time? Yeah. It's fun. It's stylistic.
Yeah. It's more style than substance. After, you know... Frankly, it became more style than substance the moment the moment this bad boy popped into existence. And after the Garand and other similar rifles came out, after anything that isn't bolt or lever action existed, this only became worth it for style, or if you're like a rural, like, farm dude who... I'm sorry, dude to be a city slicker. You're farm folk who rustle up them there cows or whatever. Then you got this. Because you only have to buy one gun. It's not expensive, and it'll last you like 40 or 50 years before you die of, like, I don't know, dysentery or something. Yeah, you're like a... You're like a 2.5, but with a whole bunch of style points, but I factored in as many as I could.
Now is going to be the stupid one. The single piston long musket.
God, I forgot there was a musket.
Film number 4.
Forgot there was a musket.
Why is there a musket?
In Killing Floor. Well, let's do it. Tap, tap, get in the tray. There you go. And then we close that up. And then we do this. And then we do this. And this. And this. Stick that back there. Put the bullet in the thing. Grab our ramrod and just tap, tap, tap. And then tap, tap, tap. And then out. Oh, inside out tracking hates these motions. Ugh. And that sound is literally me, like, trying to, like, extend my arm as far as it will go to reach. It's not just for role play or to, you know, play a character. No, this hurts my arms. Okay, we took a chunk out of that guy. Let's go ahead and pull that back. And do the whole sequence over again. Okay. Who wants this? I doubt I beat my best time of 36 seconds there. But show me if I did in editing. This isn't like funny meme. This is hateful and painful. It really...
Just give it a 1. Just give it a 1.
But I feel like anything I give a 1 would be better than this.
Fine, I'll rate it as 0. You just throw it on the ground.
Return to the earth.
M4A1 with combat sight and a short scope. Or short scope.
Ah, okay, I know what I meant. My own words were throwing me for a loop there.
Yeah, that happens to us all sometimes.
Now I've thrown me off my game. Where are...
Thrown me off my rhythm.
That's what it is. That's like a short scope, I guess. But I don't like that now. I feel like I've seen this thing in like a sci-fi film. Just give me a mag. We haven't had better hands rear its ugly head in a while, so now it will. I see a problem. I don't know if you see a problem, but I see a problem.
What's the problem?
Does the view inside the scope render?
No, it looks like you're still holding it from like a first-person perspective, but from the hip. Oh, here. Oh, there it is.
Have I been out of the left eye this entire time? I have!
I just thought that was a stylistic choice.
Not on accident. Well, not on purpose. Okay. Do you see a problem?
No, don't see a problem, really.
Yeah, it's an M4. Choice of sight and or scope might change things. I've just seen something that I can do with this. Wait, no! Now I'm unstoppable! I'm leaving it like this. Can you actually aim out of the top one? Oh, you totally can! Dan, I've done it. I've saved rifles.
You gave it a periscope, that's what you did.
Well, periscope would be up, and, like, out. No, this is just worse. But now you can just hold it at... I need like one or maybe two more sights. I'll grab two just in case. But now you can hold it at hip height and still aim.
Still can't see out of the scope.
No?
No. Oh, there's the scope. There it is. We're good.
I've just been filming with like all the wrong settings. So yeah, the M4 with a scope. This is the greatest invention I've ever had. I think the thing that I hate the most is that this scope actually is like zeroed correctly. Like, that doesn't seem like it should be the case, but it totally is. I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's a 4.
Now your next one is also an M4A1, but with iron sights.
This one's gonna be quick. It's fine, yeah, it's also a 4.
Alright. L85.
But the L85, as it appears in Killing Floor 1. Fire selector's back here for some reason. This bolt being this big right next to my face is really making me uncomfortable, and it's a digital game. This isn't a physical gun, and it's... I don't like it. I need to ask, because this is bothering me. What is it with Britain and making these ridiculous, like nightmare guns? Like, for Christ's sakes, look at this. They're more or less the same. And I really don't like that. Is this what eating the flippin' like fish and salad cream for centuries does to you? Why are you like this? You colonize the whole world, but then you make guns that look like this. I don't... It's like a rock and roll cover of the Star-Spangled Banner. This is the Wallace and Gromit theme. It has its fans, but I assume it has its fans for the same reason, like, people find Steve Buscemi legitimately attractive. It's like, it's part of the in-joke. And I don't mean that to disparage Steve Buscemi. He's a lovely guy and a great actor. And he also hates all the memes about his appearance. And I totally get that. But I guess for some people, this is charming. It doesn't do anything for me. It's a 3.
Next one is the AIMR Romanian AK with a wire stock.
Just assume that this counts as a wire stock. We'll just use this. Well, it probably fires full-sized AK rounds, not the 5.45. This does. Show me something real fast. Attachment, stock. Can you take a stock? Oh, there we go! We did it!
So ugly looking.
So this will be our Romanian AK. I don't remember what nation does this type of weird foregrip nonsense, but I assume it's probably Romania. Or wait, there are other foregrips for the AKs. This is the Romanian style AK foregrip. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, it's still an AK. It's amazing how much you can do to an AK, but not actually like change anything about how it functions or feels. You are in the upper echelons of 3.
FN Foul with an ACOG.
Okay. I'm seeing a problem. How am I going to put an ACOG on this? Well, I have an idea, but it ain't pretty. The role of foul will be played by the foul para for this, wiggly rails? Why? Okay, we found another mod thing, and it's arguably the worst one of the bunch. Okay, so now we do a riser. And then we do a rail extender long. Oh, is this not enough? Oh no, it's more, it's enough rise. But we are going to need more. Maybe one more. There we go! And now we can put an ACOG on it!
That is so ridiculous looking.
Spectator camera, okay. So they've added... So one of the other mods has added camera nonsense. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw this on full. And spawn new targets. It's actually surprisingly nice. It's like a good balance of kick and, this is the worst sentence in my life. This is a surprisingly good balance of kick and punch. It's got a decent amount of recoil, but it's not like an egregious amount of recoil. And then the round is nice and punchy. And all in all, it just feels pretty dang capable. Yeah, you're getting a 4.5, and I actually don't know how I feel about that, given everything I had to do to put the sight on you.
Alright. Next up is the Scar H with optic. All it says is optic.
Optic. I guess I assumed I would know what optic I meant. I don't.
And then put something on it.
Don't need a drum mag, need a regular mag. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the 5 Club. Assuming that that's close to the optic I meant.
Alright, 5 Club. M14.
Oh. Right there.
Help some rounds out.
Well, I already know that I like this, because the M14 is more or less just, hey, let's give the Garand a regular old magazine well. And you know what? Yeah, it's nice. The M14 in Killing Floor, though, I believe is the M14 EBR, which is like the tactical version that's made out of metal, which is gross. And it's so gross that Anton actually refuses to put it in the game. People have asked a bunch for the M14 EBR, and he's said no every time, which I commend. Yeah, the one in game isn't particularly handsome, but the M14 as a whole is quite fine. Would I go as far as to give it a 5? I would, no, but I would give it, I'll give it a 4. Weirdly, I can actually give this one a numeric rating, because in a horde shooter, like a horde shooting scenario, yeah, that'll take some guys out. You know, when you give me the curveball of, hey, compare the M79 to everything else in Counter-Strike or John Wick, it's weird, because, like, that's all about grace and precision. This is about killing as many motherfuckers as you can in as short of time as possible. I just sent some flippin' wood yeetin'. With that in mind, simple to operate, not good for the close range, but you compare this to the Mac. So the Mac handles everything close, and everything further away, you just bloop. Yeah, yeah, welcome to welcome to 4.5'sville. Yeah, for a horde shooter situation, yeah. Give that a 5. I don't remember how it reloads. They might do the, oh, I can't do this one shell at a time. Because they all come... Oh, wait, yeah, I can. They might do the disgusting thing where you do 1... 1...
Oh, that is disgusting. It's very inefficient.
Yeah, any game that does this deserves to fail. They deserve to have an hour and 40-something minute personal retrospective made about them that gets 850,000 views or so, and then ruins a person's ability to make videos forever because everyone just keeps asking about that one particular game while they do something else. Anyways, MGL, yeah, you get a 5. Welcome to town. Welcome to the 5 town. Remove recover and cap. Pull open until locked here. Alright, so release safety. Alright, and then squeeze to fire. I missed! I was gonna do a big funny joke where all the weapons go flying, and I'm like, we're done with Killing Floor 1, now to move on to Killing Floor 2, and I missed! Still didn't do anything like I wanted it to. There we go! They didn't move!
You set up bomb-proof tables, I guess.
No. No. There's no way to do this. I'm killing myself. Come on! Come on! That'll have to do.
I'm doing it.
Killing floor 2. Say goodbye to all of this stuff. It's time for killing floor 2. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, I'd recommend subscribing. Patreon and social media links are in the description.